Well, hello there. Hold on a second. I had a fucking thing. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Squally Green Thumb. For those who don't know me, and I am a butcher at a grocery store. I'm not going to say the name of because, you know, things that I don't want to go viral in my life tend to go viral. So if this does and I said where I worked, I'd probably get fucking. Um, but anyway, a friend of mine shared an article today from BuzzFeed, which whatever. But it was like 19 things not to do or something at a grocery store during this whole pandemic thing, and there was some good shit in there. But I had been already playing with the idea of making a video about just things that are happening that shouldn't, and also just strategies for shopping during this. Uh, the best way to keep yourself and the other people in the store, especially the people who have to work there, safe. Um, a lot of this is going to come across as complaining because your boy's been in the shit for 3 weeks now, and I got things to complain about, but hopefully it's educational enough. If anybody who isn't my friend ends up seeing this, uh, you know, uh, just understand that I do know what it's like. I have been in stuck inside my own house or even just one room for months at a time before, so I do understand for the most part what you guys are going through. Um, so it's not, it's nothing to knock your situation. It's just to try and make everything go a little smoother and easier for everybody with their different struggles at this time, whether it be you're quarantined or working. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I'm sorry. I just realized how long this video is already. I ramble. Anyway, first thing I want to start this off with is when everything got shut down and they were like, oh, don't leave your house unless to go to the grocery store. A lot of people, what you heard was it's safe to go to the grocery store. It's not really. And that's not to say that it is, inherently like actually unsafe and you're guaranteed to catch this if you go there or anything. But the fact of the matter is, when all of this started, um, grocery stores got hit pretty hard. I'm sure you all realize this. So, we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people coming in and out of our store, um, just as this thing is starting to spread. So, you know, while uh, nurses and other medical staff are most likely to knowingly come in contact with this virus and end up infected with it and possibly spread it, um, and I take nothing away from them. First off, they get listed before grocery workers and everything that has been going around lately of the real heroes of this whole fucking thing or whatever. And they're doing this shit, but I just want to put things into perspective. So they deal with a small amount of people that, they are informed maybe that they have COVID, or they're coming in because they might possibly have COVID, and they're around them. But we just had hundreds and hundreds of people like swing by us and come in contact with us at the beginning of this thing, and there was no keep 6 feet away, there was nothing. It was just crushed in, people on people. So I everybody that I work with and everybody I've spoken to who works in grocery stores, um, have come to the agreement that we all probably have it. And we're all hoping that we're just magically, because of the work we're doing in this time, we're just hosts. Probably not. But the fact is, we have most likely unknowingly come in contact with it and have caught it. So it's not a, like, we've upped our cleaning for sure. The amount of just cleaning staff that we have has tripled, and it is a constant thing. And and we do have like sanitizer and stuff on hand, even if we don't have any on the shelves. That's to keep us from possibly infecting you if we do have it, or hopefully if we're not infected, not get infected ourselves. So all that has stepped up, but it's still not perfect. It's not in a magic bubble. So I want people to understand that that you are at risk just going outside anyway, and that the grocery store doesn't automatically mean you're gonna be safe. Whatever. I've rambled way too much about all this. So, but now that things have calmed down a little bit, and now that things are crazy, are less crazy, we, as workers at the grocery store, we're still very busy. Not as busy as we were like last week or anything, but still incredibly busy. And so there's there's a lot of us running around and trying to get things done. And because of that, sometimes we get closer than 6 feet to you guys. And I know everybody's scared, but stop snapping at us about it. It's like, we're just trying to do our job, and it's really disheartening. Like, we have a lot of people who have been vocally thankful to us when they come in, and we do get the thank you for coming here, thank you for doing the work you do, whatever, and that feels great. But it doesn't make it getting cut down by people hurt any less. It really sucks. We're out here, we are risking our shit, and then if you see us come in and we're about to stock a shelf, just step aside, because we have to do that. And like, yeah, sometimes we can stand there with the box in our hand while you figure out which specific pasta you want right now. But like, man, we just got to do our job. So if we get a little close, just take a step back. Don't freak out at us. That's it. It fucking hurts. On the flip side of that, also, don't get too fucking close to us, like, on purpose. Like, there are times when I'm stocking a shelf and there's still people reaching their arm past my ear, and that's not cool. Like, you can wait. We're working. We have the I know there are some people that are still working. There are other essential people, or people who are working from home and are maybe coming in on their break. But like, for the most part, people aren't. And you have all this time. Don't rush and endanger us. That's not cool. When it comes to, so again, as I said before, I'm a butcher. When it comes to placing an order for something from one of the departments where you have to talk to a clerk and they get it for you, try not. This is something that's kind of annoying normally, but now with how busy we are and how stressful everything is, now it's just unnecessary for you to ask for things that you could do yourself. And what I mean by that is, I have a customer comes in all the time and he gets boneless chicken thighs and he wants them cut up into bite-sized pieces. He is a like 20-something able-bodied man. Cut them your fucking self. at least now. If things ever go back to normal, sure, come in and we'll do your little thing for you. But like, I understand if it's something that where we need to use the saw, or or if you are in any way disabled, fine. But if you can actually do this on your own, don't make us do it, because we have so much going on right now. It really can send a day in the wrong direction. It really can. That's just how things are right now. Okay, when you come into the grocery store, we're getting still on the behavior side, but more on the strategic side. It's starting to lean. I set up this list so kind of fade into it. So when you come into the grocery store, or when you're coming to the grocery store, tamper your expectations. Shelves are no longer empty as often as they were in the past couple weeks. They tend to be a little more full, but the way supply chains work and all that, and the fact that nobody was prepared for this, like, these companies weren't stockpiling in case of pandemic, because these things don't happen, at least not often enough for them to think about it. For years after this, it'll definitely happen, but up until now, there was no reason to. So sometimes we're missing very specific items. Sometimes we're missing your favorite brand. And just expect to have to work around what you wanted to come in for. And I know, like I said before, there have been times where I have been stuck inside and had very little going on in my life, and it was just, there's this one burrito place that was only on Foodler sometimes. Like, they would just randomly be like, yeah, sure, we'll do deliveries for a couple hours today. It was a weird thing, but I wanted it every day because they were really good. I guess that's why they can afford to do stuff like that. But days that I didn't get it, it hurt, because I'm like, this is the one thing, and I understand. I mean, the one thing, try not to make the one thing a meal. Just come in and get things that you like. And if you can't make your special, and I have people come in and be like, yeah, you want to try this special new recipe? Sure, this is time for that, if you can find the ingredients. If you can't, just move on, because when you don't move on, it causes meltdowns, and everybody feels bad about it, and we don't want you to not have your thing, but that's just the way things are right now. We're trying to get back into the swing of things with supplies, and it's happening, but it's happening slowly. Be specific in your requests. This is another thing that was kind of annoying before, and now it again can derail a lot of your day. And I can mostly only speak of things from a butcher standpoint. So, but people come up, and people come early in the morning, which is, I'm going to get to that later. People come early in the morning, and I don't have the meat case filled early in the morning, because the way things have been set up at the grocery store for years and years is you spend most of your morning setting up the meat case, because you're not going to get any customers until later anyway, really. But now I have customers coming in before I have most of the stuff out, and they'll say things like, do you have any pork? And I'm like, yes, we have pork. What are you looking for? And they go, pork. Like, no, you know what you're looking for. Think about it. When you get asked the question, what are you looking for? Think about it and respond. Because, again, like, it's not, it isn't a normal morning where maybe you're the only customer in the building. There's multiple customers, and they all want stuff, and they all want it first. And just like try and just be as like precise and concise with your requests as possible. That's really all it comes down to is just don't make us play a constant guessing game and having to ask you a bunch of questions when you can simply say, I was wondering if you guys had any this specific thing. So yeah, I guess that falls into it. Just if, again, like I said before, if we don't have the special thing that you wanted, I'm sorry. Just get some other stuff and just make the most of it. Make the most of everything in this situation, but like, you know, yeah, make the most of the food that is available to you. Yeah, don't come in as early as possible. Excuse me. Not only does it, slow down things in the morning when we're used to, moving, getting things set up. That's the thing. In the morning, we're getting things set up. If you come in the morning, you might as well, like, first thing in the morning, like right after we open or right after we allow the general public in, because now all stores have like a, senior citizen hour or whatever. And like, that's fine. They come in and, this is their time to safely shop. Also, don't fucking come in if you're like 40 during senior citizen hour. Don't be a dick. But once that senior citizen hour is over, people come swarming in. You might as well just come right before closing last night, because that's mostly what's going to be there. It's the same shit. Like, we have overnight stock team. We do have like 1 or 2 overnight deliveries, but most of the things in the store don't come in until like at least 8, and then they're not automatically available. Like, they have to go through a receiving process, and then we have to take apart pallets and all this stuff. So come later. Noon is a great time. We don't care if we get swamped at noon. It's fine. None of us take lunch at actual lunchtime anyway. So, come swarm us at noon, because things will be out. Things will be available. And the fresher stuff, if you're one of those people who wants your stuff the freshest, first off, you're getting shit the freshest now than you ever have, because we keep selling out of everything. So yeah, that's first thing. Everything's fresher than usual. But come in later, because that's when the shipment comes in, and that's when we unload the trucks and the boxes. Okay, so right now stores have these lists in aisles or sections where it'll say, hey, you can only buy this amount of things or whatever. Buy that limit. The limit's there for a reason. It's a number that is, it would be okay if most of the people buying this thing bought this amount. The number of customers we have, pretty much everybody will still be able to get it. Keeping in mind that not every customer comes in and wants this specific thing. Just get the limit. The limit's there. That's 2 reasons for the limit. So everybody can have some, and so to let you know how much you can bring home, and bring that home, because getting into this next thing, use your freezer. I was mentioning earlier, this is the time to get the freshest stuff. Eat the freshest stuff, in the days before it goes bad. And the stuff that you're not going to get to, put it in your fucking freezer and deal with the fact that you're going to have defrosted shit. Now is a time where everybody is a beggar. Nobody gets to be a chooser. Nobody. Not even like people working in the grocery stores. I came back when this all started the day before my payday. So everybody was going crazy, and then my paycheck comes in and my store's fucking empty. So even, in the normal, in the before time, in the long ago, when things were normal, people who worked in the grocery store got first dibs. We don't get that anymore. So we have when we finally got the chance, when things came in, we bought the limit, we shoved it in our fucking freezer. We're eating defrosted shit, and we're the people who get it and give it to you. So bow down to our level, because that's where you're fucking at right now. And part of the reason why you should use your freezer and get used to eating defrosted shit is don't go to the fucking store every day. Stop it. Even if you are another essential employee, don't go to the store every fucking day. Like, that's just the whole point of this, is to leave as little as possible. You know, come in, buy a week's worth of shit, buy 2 weeks worth of shit. When you get paychecks, if you do get paychecks, and I'm gonna get, might as well talk about it now. I understand that some of you guys don't have money right now, and actually no, because you guys are gonna go do the smart thing and buy a bunch of non-perishable or frozen shit. So I'm not, I apologize to you guys. I love you guys. I take care of you the most I can. But yeah, just so if you are a person who has currently constant cash flow still, or savings, or what the fuck ever, just don't come in every day. Buy a bunch of shit at once, sit in your house for a couple fucking weeks, and then come back out. And I know a lot of people are using the store as their one thing to just get out there in the world and feel fucking normal. Like, don't do it. Stop it. Stop trying to get something back, because it's not coming back anytime soon, if at all. So just enjoy the fact that you get to stay inside and get to be safer than the people who have to go outside every day. Take advantage of it, because we would. It's the thing. Use delivery services if you can. If you can afford, the delivery fee and tipping your driver, because you better fucking tip your driver, use delivery service. I know Instacart is on strike right now, so don't use Instacart. But, Prime Now, and like Peapod, use that shit. Like when those things, when you're doing that, the delivery service, what happens is other employees of the store, mostly cashiers, because we have to cut down on the amount of cashiers we have to make sure people get to be 6 feet apart as much as possible. So we've now cut down on the number of registers that we have open. So it's mostly cashiers, but also, just other employees. We'll just have them come in for like an extra day, and they walk around and do the shopping for you. And that limits the amount of people in the store, and it also limits the amount of people in the store who don't have to be there, which is a good thing. It's the point of all this. So that's really it for like my advice, and my, I guess, like little tidbits of how your behavior is affecting the people that are out here working at these stores. But I just have a couple more points I want to make that I added to the end of the list randomly, I guess. Sorry. So people who work in grocery stores, it's being well documented in the news that we are getting little raises and bonuses and things of that nature. And stop commenting on it, because, I mean, first off, we deserve it, and we deserve more than that. that's a whole nother issue. Maybe I'll make a video about some other day. But you know, like I've had customers be like, "Oh, you're gonna be so rich after this," and you know, part of me to get through the day does say to myself, I'm gonna be fucking stunting on all these fucking non-essentials when all this is over. I'm gonna be fucking stacking chips and be all like, you know, fucking balling uncontrollably. No, the fuck I'm not. No, I'm not. And the people who come in and say things like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be rich," like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with all that extra money?" You know, to them, if they were in my situation, which they are not, um, because they're not that type of person, they will, you know, to them it's like, oh, they would save it or they would blow it on some cool shit. So full disclosure, I made $400 extra on my last paycheck than I normally do. As far as like what actually showed up in my bank, it was probably more pre-tax, but so yeah, I made $400 more than I normally do on a paycheck. I currently have about $300 less than I would normally have at this time of week because me being a lowly servant, I have friends that are lowly servants that don't have income right now. So I'm spreading the love as much as I can, as well as you know, artists, and musicians and you know, people who just in general are fucked right now. Those are my people. those are my friends, and I'm helping them out. I am redistributing my wealth, and my wealth ain't shit. So you know, shouldn't be that fucking hard for people with a lot more money than me, but apparently that can't happen. Back on the subject of how people have been treating us, they're, you know, at first people were just treating us like the shitty help like they used to before. Later it changed into a lot of thank you for coming in and, you know, sacrificing and risking and making sure everybody's fed, and I appreciate that. I do. And then there's the, like I said before, then there's the people who treat us like fucking lepers, and that sucks. But at the end of the day, what really matters is how you guys treat us after this. At least the people who are being very nice to us, the people who are being really shitty to us, we're gonna remember. We're not gonna retaliate because that's dumb, but you know, we're not gonna forget that shit. We're not gonna forget the horrified faces you make when we come anywhere near you, shit like that. But you know, when it comes to the people who are praising us right now, like, I honestly hope you still respect us after this is gone and the memory of this starts fading. You know, but if you really want to thank us, like if you really legitimately want to fucking thank us, and you really think that what we're doing is great and that we deserve the extra money we're getting right now, just fucking vote for Bernie Sanders. For fuck's sake. I think I covered everything. It was a half-hour video. Sorry.